Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about my 10 things that I learned during sophomore year of college. So last year I filmed a video, obviously based on my freshman year, so I thought it would be cool to document 10 things that I learned each year that I'm in college. So if you guys don't know anything about me, I'm an incoming junior year student at UC Berkeley, also known as Cal, and I am in the MET program and I study EECS, which is Electrical Engineering, Computer Science, and Business Administration as part of the Haas Business School. So yeah, these are the 10 things that I learned during my sophomore year. Number 1. Sophomore slump is a thing. So I know like you guys have often heard like, oh, sophomore slump, whatever that is, like you get lazy, blah, 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 blah. Yes, the rumors are true. You get lazier, you care less about grades, you're less timely when it comes to classes, you care less about going to classes, all these things, you know? It just kind of affects you. A lot of the times, you know, you go in your freshman year, you're excited, it's a new start, you know? And of course, you're gonna start the year off with a bang. And even sophomore year, in the beginning, like in the fall semester, you also start the year off with a bang. But as time goes on, it kind of just like, you start at the high ground and then you just kind of, you know, because like you get tired and like things get harder, things are more difficult, your classes are harder. A lot of the times in the sophomore year, you typically still do take introductory classes. So I wouldn't say it's as difficult, but I will definitely say that for me personally, I have been taking upper division classes now in my sophomore year, more towards the spring semester of my sophomore year. And of course, when I'm taking these upper division classes, I realize that, of course, classes are harder, and yet I'm kind of lazier, and on top of that, there's other things going on, so yeah, sophomore slump happens. Number 2. So, you know, during your freshman year, as I spoke in my last video about 10 things I learned in freshman year, you gain freshman 15. That is just a fact. Well, I know some people, they actually lose weight, which, sis, please tell me your secret. Because I gained 15 pounds. I definitely did not lose 15 pounds. And in my sophomore year, I realized that although I did work out, and I no longer ate at the dining halls anymore because at Berkeley, they didn't have like a swiping system, but I didn't do that anymore, and so as a freshman, you were required to do it, but as a sophomore and up, you're not required to have swipes to use the dining hall. As a result, so I decided to, you know, try to cook at home when I could, and I would pretty much go out to eat. My diet literally just consisted of Chipotle and tofu soup all the time. So I didn't gain weight per se, but I didn't really lose all of my freshman 15. I maybe lost like a couple pounds here and there, but nothing significant, and I didn't really go back to where I used to be. Number 3, sophomore year is pretty much the last year that people join organizations. I would say for a lot of people in their junior and senior year, they're not so much focusing on joining clubs or participating in new clubs. They're more so focusing on your future job opportunities and what you're gonna do in the summers. So I think for a lot of people, it's their freshman year and sophomore year in which they, you know, join clubs, try new things, do this and that, like just do different things and really experience as much as you can in college. And I think that in your sophomore year, it's pretty much the last year for, I would say, majority of people to just join. Number 4, I learned that Greek life is not for me. So actually, the reason why I joined a sorority was because, you know, coming into college, I really wanted to experience the whole American dream college with like what you see in movies, kind of like Mean Girls. And of course, I understand that life is not like the movies, and the movies is a very romanticized and fantasized way of how life is. And so I wanted to join Greek life because I really just wanted to see what it was like. I wanted to see what it was like to just hang out with different people, meet people from different backgrounds, you know, the whole party scene, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so during sophomore year, I didn't participate that much because I was really busy with schoolwork, and also our sorority house was quite far away from where my apartment was. And I also decided that I didn't want to live inside the sorority house because I realized that, well, for our particular sorority house, we're not allowed to cook there, although meals are provided, there's lunch provided and dinner that's provided, so they cook for you. But for me, I wanted the flexibility and I wanted the possibility of being able to cook myself if I wanted to. I didn't want to be restricted by whatever the chef had cooked up. So as a result, I decided not to live in the sorority house. I think I've heard from a lot of different people that being in the sorority house, you end up being closer with the girls in the sorority. But for me, since I didn't participate that much, I didn't get that much out of it. in the end, it's like what they said in the beginning when I first joined, how much you make of the sorority is basically how much effort you put in. What you put in is what you get out of it. Number 5. So another big reason why I actually wanted to join the Greek life was because for Berkeley, they have a really strict rule on who can join the parties. And as a freshman, of course, I've never been to a party. In high school, I never went to parties. I was not invited, wasn't the most popular person in high school. In high school, I would say I was more infamous than famous. But that's a whole other story about my high school experience. But in college, of course I wanted to join parties, and because we have a really restrictive system in Berkeley, you had to be a part of the Greek system in order to get what we call bids, which were these wristbands that you had to wear on your wrist in order to gain entry into a lot of these parties. And for me, since I've never been to a party before, I decided I'll join the sorority as a purpose of getting into the system, and of course also to get to know different people as well and to find a sense of community. And well, sophomore year, I just kind of realized that I don't care about parties. I think my entire sophomore year, I went out twice, I think. And that was during fall semester. I think spring semester, I literally never went to parties. I just don't care, I guess. And I understand that, of course, I wanted parties as a way to get out and meet people. But the thing is that a lot of the times when I went to these parties, people were either drunk or they were just off of something. And it just wasn't for me, and I just didn't care for parties anymore. Yeah, if normally I would go to parties just to dance or have a good time with the music, and I just think that I find that so much, I find that sort of fun more so when I went to raves or concerts with my friends, and that was a situation in which I would dance and have a really good time because I enjoyed the music, and overall that was just so much more my thing than going to parties. So yeah, sophomore year, didn't go to any parties. Number 6, the pressure to get an internship is actually insane. Now, I say this with a caveat, knowing that it depends on what school you go to. So for a really competitive school, competitively at an academically driven school like Berkeley, people of course care about getting internships. I'm telling you, people literally freshman year, they're getting internships. Freshman year, I didn't have an internship, and while some of my peers did have internships, in hindsight, it's it doesn't really matter to have one freshman year, honestly. Freshman year, maybe you have an internship just so you can gain some experience in the real world, but come on, freshman year, what do you know? You literally know nothing, okay? It's more towards junior year when it's really important to get an internship. But because I go to such a competitive school, I got an internship for this summer, and it's just the pressure is so crazy because everyone's getting an internship. So if you don't get an internship, it almost looks bad. People will ask you, oh, what are you doing for the summer? And then you don't want to just say oh, I'm just gonna be at home chilling. It just kind of looks bad, which I understand that this is a bad mentality to have, but at the same time, it's just something that you kind of can't help, or at least personally for me. I'm not sure about other people, but for me, if I hear all of my other peers have internships and I don't, I naturally feel oh my god, I need to get an internship, blah, blah, blah. And this kind of culture, maybe one would say that it's toxic and it's something that is only present in competitive schools. But at the same time, it's not a bad thing, it's not a horrible thing, because it pushes you to experiment, And I think the whole purpose of having an internship is to try to see if I really, of course, want to get an internship in a field that is related to your career or your major, and you can test out the internship, see if you like it, and if you don't like it, well, then it's an indication to you that maybe you should switch majors or switch career paths. And so in that sense, I don't think it's harmful to start early and have an internship early, because it just serves as a way to let you know whether you're gonna like what you're gonna do in the future or not. So I think in that sense that it's actually good. But trying to get an internship is really intense. There are some people who are really on top of their game and they have an internship before winter break. And there are other people, like me, who procrastinated and didn't do that, and I only started applying basically in February, March-ish, which is, I would say, fairly late, but of course there are still opportunities. I'm gonna make a whole separate video talking about how to get internships and tips on getting internships and what I learned from my internship, etc., etc. all in a separate video. But yeah, that's just a general gist that sophomore year, and the pressure of getting an internship is there. Number 7, I think that in your sophomore year, if you haven't decided what you want to major in, I think it is really the time to decide. So for me, I am already declared, but I know for a lot of people, they start to declare their major in their sophomore year, sometimes junior year, and I really think that your sophomore year is the time to decide what you want to major in, so that your junior and senior year you can focus on taking upper division classes that are, more specific and more focused on whatever major that you decide to choose. It really is the time to basically ultimately decide what you want to do for the rest of your life. Of course, like for majority of people, a lot of the times people have career change paths throughout their life, which is okay, but I think that it's important to just kind of figure out what you want to do. So I know a lot of the times people get into college during the freshman year and they get in for a certain major, they take a couple of classes, realize it's not for them and switch to something else, which is of course totally okay, but I think that by the end of sophomore year, you should really have a fairly clear idea of what you want to major in, such that, your junior and senior year, you can prepare to take classes that are upper division and focus specifically for what you want to do. Number 8. If you are living off of campus and you want to get a new apartment, it's important to start early. So for Berkeley, we are only offered campus housing, which isn't even on campus. All of our housing is actually off campus, but for our campus housing, we're only guaranteed that for freshman year, and if you're a Regents member, you are guaranteed, I don't know if you're guaranteed actually, but I think you have a higher chance of getting into the Martinez Commons. That's a different college housing that Regents members have priority over. It's really close to campus. For the majority of other people, they need to find off-campus housing in like apartments rented out by, bigger leasing companies, etc., etc. So what I learned is that, I just got a new apartment for my junior year, and it actually, funnily enough, okay, that is definitely not a word. Funny enough, it actually happens to be in the same building that I was in for sophomore year. The competition for finding an apartment on like campus housing areas is really competitive, and it is so important to start early. And I kid you not, I was like on the hunt for a solid month and a half or something like that, just going to all of these listings trying to go, and every time I went there were like 10 other people there trying to compete for the same spot, and it was just so rushed, and it was like, after the day that you visited for the open house, the next day you need to have your forms in, otherwise it's gonna get taken up by other people. And that happened to me before because there was this one apartment that I really liked and I really wanted to share with my other roommates, but because we turned it in maybe like an hour or two later, another person already snagged it. It's crazy. People are so fiercely competitive when it comes to apartment housing, so I would really advise you to start early. Number 9, career fairs. They are the most useless things ever. And okay, I of course can't speak for everyone. I know some people who have gone career fairs and have gotten internships and job offers through reaching out and through making those, networking connections, which I think is really impressive. But for majority of people, that is really difficult to do. Let me give you a scope of what career fairs are. It's like one representative for a company and 50 people lined up just to talk to that one person. And by the time your turn comes up, they're gonna be so tired of talking to all of these kids saying the same thing again and again. They're just gonna give you their business card at most. Maybe you can hand them your resume, but majority of the time, career fairs are not useful at all. It is a complete waste of time. I have gone to 3 or 4 career fairs, and I just realized that it just didn't help me at all in getting an internship. I just didn't feel like I gained any information, and I just don't think that it was the most effective way to get to know a company or to reach out or to apply. Maybe, I guess, a career fair is good in the sense that it gives you exposure to companies that you have a possibility to applying for, but I don't think that a career fair is the best way to get an internship or job offer. And last but not least, number 10. So this is just, I'm still shocked by this, but number 10 is time flies by really damn fast. I can't believe that in the fall, in literally 2 months, I'm going to be a junior. I am halfway done with college. That is crazy to me. I literally still remember the first day of college. I remember the time when I got my acceptance letter, and in 2 more years, I will literally have a job. I'll be a full-on adult. There's no more college, unless I decide to get an MBA or pursue higher education. But other than that, there's no more school. And that's so crazy to me. So I think that freshman and sophomore year, really take this time to enjoy college. Really take this time to learn as much as you can. Because honestly, before you know it, the time will be gone. And you won't even, it won't even process on how fast things have gone. And I look back and I just realize that, I've accomplished so many things, but there are still so many things that I still want to do. So I think that's something that I'm going to be taking in a junior year, is that I'm going to really try hard to make every moment count, because I only have 2 more years, and after that, I graduate, and that's wild to me. So yeah, those are all the 10 things that I learned during my sophomore year at UC Berkeley. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if there's anything else you guys would like to see. I will be filming several internship videos, probably a day in the life of my internship. Also, how to get an internship, something along those lines. I'll probably make one of those videos to help you guys out. So yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Falling in love really ain't for me. Pouring it up so I feel nothing, but I still can't sleep, niggas can't come